creating something just gives me that different kind of purpose. And it challenges me and challenges different parts of my brain. And it reminds me that I'm just more than someone who keeps tiny little people alive all day. And those lies and those doubts in your head just get so loud, and I didn't have the right equipment, and I'm wondering who cares what I have to say. Like, I'm a mom, like, who cares what I have to say? I'm boring. And the excuses just kept piling up. Your kids don't need you to disappear into motherhood. They need to see you go after something. They need to see you try and fail and try again. They need to see that dreams don't have an expiration date. Completely lost. I was just deep in motherhood, doing all the things, but I just didn't recognize myself anymore. I felt like I lost all my passions, my hobbies. I just felt like I didn't have anything that was mine. I didn't have an outlet, no creative space, no identity outside of just being a mom. Welcome back to the Mom Department. I'm Deborah, and today I'm doing something a little bit different. I'm pulling back the curtain, not on motherhood, but on this podcast, on why I started this podcast, what it's actually like to build something while raising kids, and the tension of chasing a dream while being needed by everyone around you. If you've ever had a dream, a side hustle, or a business idea, a creative project, or something that you've just been carrying inside you and you've told yourself, maybe when the kids are older or maybe in another season, this episode is for you. Okay, but first I want to be clear about something. This isn't about like how I built a 6-figure business from my kitchen table type story, because I'm not there yet, and I'm not on the other side of this. I'm literally in the middle, or even kind of in the start, just figuring it out in real time, recording episodes during nap or bedtime, editing after bedtime or quiet time, and questioning everything in between. But I think there's value in just hearing someone who's in the trenches right now, and not just watching or listening to the highlight reels of, I achieved this and this is what it looks like. Obviously, those are great for inspiration, but I think it's also great to hear about someone who's in the middle or at the start of creating something, starting a new journey, the actual chaos of building a dream with kids. So let's get into it. Before I talk about how I started the Mom Department, I kind of want to go a little further back, because this dream didn't just come out of like nowhere. If you've listened to episode 1, you know I'm a serial hobbyist. I love, love, love learning new things, and I get obsessed with something. When I get obsessed with something, I dive all the way in, and then I honestly like just annoy my siblings and my husband and talk to them about it nonstop, and they most likely never care about it, but I do it anyways and just share everything that I'm doing. But underneath all those hobbies, there's always something deeper within me. I've always been someone who just loves to create. I consider myself a creative, and I really love that I have that thing within me to want to create. And I honestly think that's a part of every single person, is the ability and the want to create. It just may be in different things or in different mediums, but I think everybody is created with the ability to want to create something, to want to build something. And so I just always wanted to do and make or create something that mattered. And I didn't always know what that was or what it would look like. Since I was a kid though, I'd have businesses I'd like to try. I used to sell phone cards. I probably just like really dated myself with that one, but I used to have a phone card business with my sister. I also started a nannying business with my sisters. We used to have a team of nannies, and we found families, and we would just basically connect families with nannies. And that was our business for a little while. I've also started YouTube channels, and I've just done so much different things. Like I remember one time me and my sister, me and my twin sister, we wanted to start a purse business. Like I've always just had that within me to just want to create. And Then I became a mom like 4 times in 5 years, and I think somewhere in the chaos of, like, diapers, feeding, and just being so sleep deprived, I just started to believe that lie that this isn't your season and your time will come later. Right now, you're just a mom and you just need to focus on being a mom. Me just saying just a mom, like that's just like a small thing. And like that should just be enough to fill just every part of me. It is kind of a lie. Yes, motherhood is such a beautiful thing and it's a big part of my life. And don't get me wrong, I love being a mom, truly. But there was still a part of me that just kind of felt restless. And I remember when I heard an interview that Tabitha Brown had done, and she spoke about how when God gives someone a purpose and places that purpose in your heart, and a purpose is a dream that just won't quit and it won't let you rest. And ever since I heard that, I found that to be just so powerful. I'm like, that's like I didn't have a word for it, but that's what it was. It's a purpose and it's something that God puts inside of you. It just does not let you quit. It doesn't let you forget it either. You may try and push it down. You may say, not now, not now, but it's just something that just doesn't quit. And it's that nagging feeling that you get. And I used to feel guilty for even just feeling that way throughout the years. And I'd start something, then I'd feel guilty that I was just taking time away from my kids to do something that I felt called to do. And I'm wondering, like, have you ever felt that way? Let me know in the comments if you've ever had that feeling that you just that feeling that you have to create something or you have to do something and it just does not let you rest. Let me know in the comments if you've ever felt that way. Um, but like, yeah, have you ever felt like you're not allowed to want something for yourself because you already just have so much going on? And I feel like I've just carried that guilt for such a long time. Like I told myself my dream could wait, that, good moms just put their ambitions on hold and that my kids just needed all of me. And anything I gave to myself was something I was taking from them. But here's the thing that I've kind of learned that that math just does not add up. Like pouring from an empty cup doesn't make you a better mom. It just makes you it might make you a resentful one in the end. So it kind of gets that next question of like, so why now? Why start a podcast with a 7-month old and three other kids, six and under? And why not wait until they're older, until life is just calmer or until it just makes the most sense? It's because I realized that the perfect time wasn't ever coming, like ever. There was a season, and I've talked about this before, where I just felt completely lost. I was just deep in motherhood, doing all the things, but I just didn't recognize myself anymore. I felt like I lost all my passions, my hobbies. I just felt like I didn't have anything that was mine. I didn't have an outlet, no creative space, no identity outside of just being a mom day in and day out. And I remember being on one of those daily FaceTime calls with my sisters that we just talk every day, multiple times a day. And I said something like, I just feel like I want to start a podcast just randomly. And my sister was just like, so do it. And it sounded so simple, but sometimes it's just like something you need for someone just to say it out loud to you and almost just give you permission to start. And that just sparked something in me. And around that same time, I started to notice something about like the motherhood content I was like always consuming on Instagram or TikTok. It was either, that perfect trad wife aesthetic with the matching outfits, the golden hour, everything, or it was just like the hot mess mom, the wine jokes, the chaos, and it was just either both extremes. And I just kept thinking like, where's the middle? Where's the content for moms who are just figuring it out, who aren't perfect, but aren't just like falling apart and just a mess either? And that's where I got the idea to start the mom department. And that idea just started forming in my head. And I would just think about it all the time. But even then, I just almost didn't want to do it because, again, those lies and those doubts in your head just get so loud. And I didn't. I didn't have the right equipment, and I'm wondering who cares what I have to say. Like like I'm a mom, just a mom. I'm a stay-at-home mom. Like who cares what I have to say? I'm boring. And the excuses just kept piling up. And so like I put it off. I put it off and put it off. And let me tell you, those lies that I had to stop believing to start, let me tell you, lie number one, that good moms don't have time for this. The truth is, I don't have time. I literally have no time. I'm a stay-at-home mom with 4 kids and I homeschool. Like, there's no time. But guess what? I'm making the time. That's the difference. I'm making time. And then lie number two, it's selfish to want something for myself. And the truth is, wanting to grow as a person doesn't make me a bad mom. It makes me a whole one. My kids should see me going after my dreams in creating something. And lie number three is that I should just wait until the kids are older. And honestly, the truth is, my kids won't remember a mom who waited for permission. They'll always remember a mom who went after something, even when it was just super, super hard. Guys, once I stopped believing those lies, I gave myself permission to start. And honestly, it was not perfect and not with everything just figured out. I just started in those little margins of time. Again, I told you I have no time. And I get asked questions like this all the time from other mothers or other people. Where do you find time to create content? Where do you find time to do this? And honestly, I think about it when they ask me that. I honestly don't have time. Like from the moment I wake up to the moment I put that last baby to bed, I have no time. But what am I doing in the tiny margins of my free time? Whether it's I've just finished homeschool and my kids are getting snacks or they're doing something, I'm editing, I'm writing down ideas, I'm doing something. Honestly, I believe in just doing little by little just to get yourself closer to that goal. Just doing a little something in those margins at nap time, at bedtime, during any type of quiet time, in the car if my husband's driving. I'm trying to do something just to push myself closer to my goals. Okay, so let's talk about what this actually looks like because I don't want to paint some like inspirational picture that doesn't match the actual reality of what I'm going through. Like, I have 4 kids, and my youngest is 7 months old. So I'm in the thick of postpartum. I'm exclusively breastfeeding, and I'm tired in the way that sleep literally does not fix. So when do I work on the mom department? Honestly, just like I said before, whenever I can. Nap time is the sacred time in our house. And when the baby goes down, I honestly don't rest. I should, but I don't. I'll record, I'll edit, I'll plan, and I've got maybe sometimes 90 minutes, and I use every single one of them. Some days in that window, I'll get 20 minutes. And then if someone wakes up early, it is what it is. I'll stop what I'm doing and I'll tend to my kids. But I've learned to be okay with it, and that done is better than perfect. I'm not looking for perfection, I'm just looking for done. And most of my editing sometimes happens after bedtime. The kids are down, the house is quiet, and I'm like running on fumes. Is this sustainable forever? Probably not. But right now, it's what I've got, and my dreams just won't let me sleep. So I just work within the time that I have. And honestly, I've outlined episodes in the car. I've brainstormed hooks while folding laundry. I've recorded in the same room that my baby is sleeping in because it just was the right time. Again, this is not glamorous. This is just guerrilla content creation. I'm just trying to get it done and grinding in the time that I have. And honestly, I feel guilt all the time. It's real. Every time I sit at my desk or if I put my headphones on or if I ask my husband to take the kids so I can work, there's a voice always in the back of my mind that's always telling me that you should be with them and you're missing something. But I've slowly have started to talk back to that voice because the truth is I'm really not abandoning my kids to build this. I'm showing them something, And I'm showing them that mom has dreams too, and that women don't stop existing when they become mothers. And that's the honest truth. We don't stop existing. Our dreams don't just get put away. And I want my daughters to see me going after something. And I want my son to see that that his future wife will have ambitions too. And that's a good thing. Even if she chooses to be a stay-at-home mom, she might want something else as well. But I, you know, let's be real about the sacrifice I do have to make this happen. Obviously, sleep is sacrificed and downtime is sacrificed. I don't have much TV time anymore. I don't scroll as much. And honestly, that's probably not scrolling and consuming so much content is probably good for me because then I still have more time to be creative. But missing sleep, mm, I'd like to catch up on sleep one day. But my relaxation time has become creating time, and some friendships, not intentionally, but I have less capacity right now. And I've had to be honest with myself about that, and again, there are seasons for some things. And I know that there will be seasons where I'll have more capacity to be going out and doing all the things and making new friends. I know that. But right now, it's just really hard because my kids take up a lot of my time teaching my kids and then creating content. And actually, obviously, my husband, my kids, my family take up a lot of my time. And, in the margins of that, I'm using it to create and just to follow my passion. And another thing is perfection. That's gone out the window. Like my house is not picture perfect clean. And I've just even outsourced for a cleaner to come bi-weekly. And that wasn't something I've always had. We had we barely have help. I don't have family that lives around. It's just me and my husband, and it's just us having to take care of all of our kids, take care of our house, and do all of that. So this has been a season that I've been honest with my husband about my capacity and what I'm able to do and what I'm not able to do. And I think this has just been money well spent on just having a cleaner come in every 2 weeks, lift up that layer of grime in our house. And it's just been so helpful and so great for my mental health and for my capacity right now. And so it makes me know that, obviously, my content is not perfect. I've had to let go of that idea that I need to have it all together to do this, that I need to have the right and best equipment to do this. And I just realized that that comes with time. And as I grow, I'll be able to upgrade certain things. I'll be able to get better cameras. I'll be able to get better whatever it is. But I just know I'm using what I have, and it's not going to be perfect, but it's better to have it done than just to be perfect. And I've always said that if you're waiting for the perfect time, perfect equipment, you will never, ever start. So don't wait for that time for you to have perfect equipment. If you have a camera, if you're wanting to do content, if you have a camera, just press record. If you have a computer, write that book. Or even pen and paper, honestly, just start. If you have just the basics to start, just start, because waiting for the perfect anything, you will never start. Another thing I want to talk about is also, I know that I couldn't do this without a support system, without my husband. We've had real conversations about this and about what it would require, about how we would divide things differently, and about him even believing in this, even when I wasn't sure I did. He's held babies while I've recorded. He's given me permission to lock myself in a room and just to work. And he's told me just to keep going, even when I wanted to quit, or I've just told him this is just too much. He's bought me equipment. He's built me this whole little studio to film. He pushes me even when I feel like this is just so stupid. And if you're going to build something like this while raising kids, you need someone in your corner, whether that's your partner, a sister, or a friend. You need someone who says, go whenever you want to stop. Now, let's kind of transition to the hardest part. The hardest part that I don't really want to talk about publicly, but there are some days I wonder if any of this matters. Some days I recorded an episode, I'm like, who literally cares? Why am I doing this? This is just so embarrassing. And the doubt about this just gets so loud. And I don't have a magic solution for that. I just keep going, honestly. I just keep cringing myself out and I just remind myself why I started. I think about the mom who might hear this and just feel less alone. And I guess that sometimes is just enough to keep me moving and recording one more podcast or just editing one more video and just uploading something. And I guess that just keeps me going. And as embarrassing as it is, I just keep going, just moving a little bit closer to my goal. So if this is so hard, why do I keep doing it? I ask myself this all the time. First, because I want to model for my kids. I don't want them to grow up thinking that mom didn't have any dreams. I don't want them to think that becoming a parent means that you're just giving up on yourself. You're giving up on things that you wanted to chase. I want them to see me try something hard and keep going, even when it's messy, even when I fail. And my 6-year-old knows that mommy has a podcast. I mean, she doesn't fully understand what it is or what that means, but she knows that I make something that I'm creating. And she constantly asks to watch my videos and she gets so excited for me to film. And she even tells me that she wants to film herself and to be on YouTube and that she's proud of me. And that matters to me. And it gives me something to look forward for in the future to know that my kids will be proud of something that I've created. Even if it was in chaos, even if it meant that I failed, that they saw that I've done something and that they can do something too, even if they fail, even if it's hard. I want my kids to know that. And another reason is just because building something for myself gives me something that motherhood alone just doesn't give me. Obviously, motherhood is beautiful. But again, it's also very repetitive. It's putting out fires and fights all the time, like the same routines, the same messes, the same questions all day long. And creating something just gives me that different kind of purpose. And it challenges me and challenges different parts of my brain. And it reminds me that I'm just more than someone who keeps tiny little people alive all day long. And I've also had to redefine, I think, what success looks like. Like right now, success isn't a million downloads, obviously, or a million views on YouTube. It's not me going viral. It's not me quitting my whole life and retiring my husband to podcast full time. Hopefully one day, but that's not it right now. Success right now is me just showing up. I recorded another episode. I said the thing that I was scared to say, and it's one mom, one person just telling me that this helped her feel less alone. That is enough. That alone to me screams success. And let me tell you about this. Actually just reminded me about a moment that reminded me why I started this. Actually, a few weeks ago, I got a message from a mom that obviously I've never met online, and she said that she listened to an episode and she could relate to a lot of what I was sharing. She said that she finally felt like someone understood, and I was just like, honestly, that message probably took her 30 seconds to send, but it just reminded me and it fueled me and it reminded me that this really matters, even if it's just one person, even if it's slow and even if I never blow up. That's why I keep going. And it just, it excites me and it just makes me want to go harder, honestly. But okay, let me not just go on a tangent. Before I close, I do want to talk directly to you, the mom who has something inside of her that she's been putting off. Maybe it's a business idea, maybe it's going back to school, maybe it's writing a book, starting a blog, launching a podcast or a product or YouTube, switching careers. Maybe you really don't even know what it is yet. You just know that there's something inside of you, and you've been telling yourself, not now, not yet, when the kids are older, when life calms down, when I have more time, more money, more energy, more clarity, yada, yada. You know what it is. You know what that thing in your head is telling you. I get it. And I've told myself the same things. But here's what I want to say to you. You don't have to wait until your kids are grown to pursue the thing that matters to you. The perfect time is a myth. There will always be a reason to delay. And if you wait for the ideal conditions, you'll literally just wait forever. You don't have to have it all figured out to start. Honestly, I didn't. I still don't. Start messy, start scared, start before the logo is perfect, before the website is done, before you feel qualified. Just start. You'll figure it out as you go. Everyone does. Honestly, your kids don't need you to disappear into motherhood. They need to see you go after something. They need to see you try and fail and try again. They need to see that dreams don't have an expiration date. They need to see their mom as a whole person, not just someone who serves them all day long, serves them those snacks. They need to see that you're somebody. And that's not selfish. That's one of the most powerful things that we can actually teach them. If you're wondering where you can start, here's one thing that you could do this week. Write it down. Whatever the dream is, just write it down on paper. Say it out loud and say it to one person. That's it. Just name it. Because once you name it, it becomes real. And real things can grow. And here's the permission I want to give you that nobody gave me. You are allowed to want more. You're allowed to be a great mom and chase dreams. You're allowed to build something for yourself while raising those tiny little humans. Those things aren't in competition. They're actually connected. You becoming more of yourself makes you a better mom, not a worse one. If you're listening to this with something stirring inside of you, a dream, an idea, a what if, I see you. And I want you to know that you're allowed to pursue it. Not someday, now. Go and chase that dream, even in the chaos, especially in the chaos. Comment below or DM me on Instagram or TikTok. I'll put my handle on the screen or I'll put it in the show notes, and tell me what's that thing you've been putting off. What would you build if you gave yourself permission? I want to hear it, and maybe I'll feature your stories in a future episode. If this episode resonated with you, please share it with a mom who needs to hear it. Let's remind each other that we're allowed to have dreams. I'll leave you with this. Your dreams don't have to wait until your kids are grown, and you don't have to choose between being a good mom and being a whole person. You can honestly do both. Imperfectly, exhausted, and you're not being selfish. You're showing your kids what it looks like to go after something that matters. And that might be the most important thing that you ever teach them. Thanks for being here, and I'll see you on the next episode. Bye.